That's something I hope to have financial freedom where I can just travel whenever I desire and have that luxury and be able to help my family and see my friends and be involved in a good community to give back, to do service for people. And that's where I see myself, is someone that can just give back and help others and make education and resources accessible, help people live not just longer lives, but longer, more fulfilling and healthier lives that they feel good about. At 6 years old, they're not struggling with back pain or other issues. They're feeling their best self. And that's something that is a goal of mine, is to help mass amounts of people. So I would say that is where I would like my life to lead. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Best Life by You, the podcast dedicated to helping you overcome challenges around nutrition, mindset, training, relationships, and well, all of the above. I'm your host, Julia, and very funny enough, I just recorded this whole episode, and it was 30 minutes, and then my mic wasn't connected to my computer properly. So I'm going to be recording the same episode I just did. It's probably going to be shorter because my patience is very not strong when it comes to this stuff. But one day I will have a whole producer team and production team, not producer, production team, and hopefully they will help. So on this episode today, I'm going to be asking questions and answering the questions, just random questions generated about myself and where I'm going and my purpose and things of that nature. And hopefully these questions you can also use for your own journey and own self. So that is something I hope that you guys can take away and definitely, use as a guide to help you with your own journey. So podcast, I guess it saves you guys some time because it's not going to be 30 minutes, but I will go ahead and just start asking some questions. They're just random generated questions that I found online that people can use just to dive into a little bit to learn more about themselves, because we are in February. It's self-love, appreciate, who you are and how far you've come. So the first question that I'm going to dive into is, what's something people assume about me that isn't true? I don't know if this is untrue, but I will always have receipts. What I say by that, and I don't know if this is the Virgo in me, but the receipt factor of I will have my facts and education before I dive into an issue or a topic. For example, you will never hear me talk about politics because I'm not educated enough in politics or well-versed in politics. So no, I will not engage in a conversation about politics. I will engage in a conversation about human rights and what is, how we should be treated. But I will not be talking about politics in any respect because I'm not well educated on that. I will talk about topics that I'm very educated on, experienced in, and passionate about. So talk about nutrition, talk about lifestyle changes, talk about training, I talk about mindset. You can't shut me up. Those things I will continue to keep talking about. And my thing is too, I guess another thing that people would say is untrue about me is I pick and choose my battles, but I would say for the most part, I'm aware now of the energy I expend, and I will assess situations and be worth expending energy, not worth expending energy. I'll give you another example. I had the other day, and I do assess things. So people, I guess I don't know if it's untrue or just things people don't know about me. I guess that's more, I'll go down more that route of things people don't know about me, is I assess situations based on energy level. So what I was saying is, a week ago, my platforms went down, not because of me, because of the system. And I ended up purchasing another account to see if it would work from there. I canceled the account. And then I double paid for something. It was $40, whatever. I double paid for accounts. And I canceled it. And part of me was I have to email them because I can't just call the bank and do it. I'd have to email them, hop on a call with them to then cancel it. My week last week was so chaotic that I was energy to expend or eat the cost. And for me, it was eat the cost, not expending the energy. If I realize a relationship is draining me, I'm not going to be reaching out or investing really in that relationship if it's just bringing me down. And when I say bringing me down, if it's a relationship where it's just talking crap, I will not want to be in that relationship. I will not want to surround myself with those people. I like to surround myself with people who are forward thinking, living in the present, and excited about the future, goal oriented, caring about their health, caring about their well-being. The next question that you could ask yourself, how have I changed in the past 5 years? And which is ironic because the other day I was just having this conversation with somebody about where they were 5 years ago. And sometimes you have to think of it yourself, because I've been in this season right now where I just feel like things are stagnant. A lot of projects I'm working on are not necessarily in my hands. I put them forward and I have to release, surrender them to God and to whoever is working with me in the project. So it's been a lot of waiting. I feel like I'm in a waiting season, and I have to remember that 5 years ago, I was in a whole different career field. I was resident director and doing, doing community events and college events. So I worked at a college. Then I left that to work at a vegan coaching company. I did that for a year and a half. And then I left that to go be a teacher. And then I was a middle school and high school teacher. And then I left that to do my business full time. So I think about it, 5 years ago, in the past 5 years, I've worked 3 different careers, 3 whole different fields, which is crazy because a lot has changed in 5 years of who I am. I now work with an NBA player. As my client, I have amazing clients. I am coaching at Lifetime. I am single. I was in a very serious relationship then, not anymore. But I just think of the growth and the things that I've experienced over the past 5 years. And I'm like, whoa, so much has changed. My book has been launched. My podcast is out. I've met so many new amazing people. Like, a lot has changed in 5 years. And I know that in the next 5 years, a lot will also change and grow. And I'm proud of myself for where I am today. Sometimes I'm like, would I ever have envisioned where I'd be 5 years ago? Now? No. I think if I were to look back at the time, I would have said, oh yeah, I'm going to be a teacher and probably married. And none of that happened because at the time I was in a serious relationship. I thought we were headed down that route. So it's funny that I'm like, wow, it's crazy where my life has landed, and I cannot wait for what the next 5 years are going to bring. And I know that that's something a lot of people forget, is where they're going to be in 5 years and where they were 5 years ago, and even where they were 10 years ago. So a lot can change in a year. A lot can definitely change in 5 years. And for me, that's pretty much the same thing like I've been doing. I've fully launched into doing my business full time. I still coach like Orange Theory and Lifetime a lot, and then my business is the majority of my time. So I'm debt free as well as of last month. Working 80 hours the past 6 years a week helped me get to that point of being debt free, of working my ass off to get to this point. And I'm excited to see where the next 5 years go. Okay, next question. Let's see what the next question is. We're going to go behind the scenes of my life. I would say, let's do this one, then the other one. So it's, what do I struggle with that people don't see? Whoo! That I am an overachiever. I have very, 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 very high expectations for myself. And I don't know how to ask for help. And when I say don't know how to ask for help, I will ask for help with business stuff when I need it. But for personal stuff, if I need like handiwork or things with my home, my family, my mom and my dad are the first people I reach out to. But when it comes to like other help, emotions and stuff, I am so bad at telling people. Like my friends, I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. I just got hit by a car, but I'm fine. Like, I'm completely fine. I broke my leg, but I'm fine. If you know me, you know how to help. You're like, even if it's a simple thing of, hey, Julia, I'm going to drop off a coffee to you today. I'm going to help with that. Or, hey, Julia, I'm going to come over, help you with your dishes. That helps. Like small little things that will help in the long run are a huge, huge thing for me. So yeah, I don't know how to ask for help. I'm too stubborn in that respect when it comes to my own personal life. But business stuff, if I have questions, I usually will ask for guidance, but then I still feel the responsibility is mine to do it all myself. The other thing, like I said, is setting very high expectations for myself and my work and my craft that I want to be the best of the best, the most educated, the most experienced, the person with all the degrees and this. And I do that to myself. I do believe in very excellence. I do believe in education. I do believe in those very high expectations because what I deliver, I want it to be memorable for clients and I want it to be memorable for a lot of people. So I do that to myself of those very high expectations. And that's something I quietly struggle with is when my own expectations aren't met. I have a hard time with that. I think that's something I've just struggled with of learning how to let go of expectations that I have for other people, which I have been. I've been learning a lot and I've been working on that, but it's my own fault because I have such high expectations for me. So I assume the same. I do it to myself. Those are things I struggle with of having really high expectations for myself, having high expectations for others. However, I'm more forgiving with others than I am with myself. And then the other thing is, I would say, just not knowing how to ask for help. So those two things I definitely struggle with, and I'm working on it. I do believe I'm working on it. Okay, next question is, what does a typical day in my life actually look like? Funny because sometimes I don't even know what my days look like. It's usually like Mondays are my 15-hour days. Mondays, I'm up at 5. I'm at work at 5:45 a.m. I work till 10:30 or 10:15 there. Have client 10:30 to 11:30. Then business stuff I do from I have lunch and then business stuff like 12 to 5 o'clock. Then I have clients from 5 to 9 o'clock p.m. So my days usually are long. I usually have like 12-hour days. Sundays are my day where I'm at home doing business stuff. I'll watch church online. Maybe I'll go pick up a coffee and read at a coffee shop. But Sundays are usually my time where I don't really choose to see other people. It's more just decompress. Saturdays are long. I coach 17 to 18 fitness classes a week. So that's a lot on top of my other clients. I love it, love what I do. But there is this exhaustion piece of like give that I sometimes don't know how to take, and like give back to myself. So a typical day, I am all over the place. I usually have coffee, definitely have coffee. I have water. I have my power smoothie, my protein shake, an apple, banana, unsalted cashews, my juice plus vitamins. I have the things that are pretty typical in my day to day. For food wise, I work out 4 times a week. I coach, but every day is different in regards to what I'm doing for clients. So yeah, those are just some things that are a little different for me, but day to day, it really is. I'll be working on my NBA players' plans, meal plans. I'll be building out my newsletter for the week, building out my app that I'm trying to sell, working on my academy that I want to sell, doing podcast episodes, guest podcast episodes, editing programs for my clients, like training programs, looking over their trackers, looking over the tracking app that I created for clients, planning out my classes, like the workouts for my classes. So a lot's going on a lot of the time. However, it's fulfilling in a lot of ways because I love what I'm doing. Okay, next one. I would say we'll do another question. Let's see. This one. What kind of life am I trying to build? You know what? This will be the last question. So the life I'm trying to build, it's funny because I have to think about this. I've been enjoying being on my own a lot because I have so many goals and part of me is like, I don't want to be distracted. I want to just stay on the path for me and what I'm trying to do that right now I prefer and I'm choosing to stay single. That's something, yeah, I have chosen. And I choose to have a life one day where I am with my husband and kids, God willing, traveling a lot, working 3 to 4 days a week, having my business pretty much run itself, having my app be passive income, having my academy be passive income, taking on clients 3 days a week. Even if it's long 12-hour days, I'm okay with that. Having long schedules or having a schedule like that, being able to have a production crew for my podcast or have a talk show. of some nature that I'm doing once a week, be able to educate large amounts of people and make it accessible to them. That's also why I'm building up my academy and building out my tracking app so that education and education and resources, there we go, can be provided to pretty much anybody with a phone. And that's what I'm working to build so that people are learning things that they did not learn in schools. And trust me, I was a teacher, so I know what they were learning and were not learning in schools. Even at college and teaching middle school and high school, there's a huge topic that's not taught about in those. That's something I hope to have financial freedom where I can just travel whenever I desire and have that luxury and be able to help my family and see my friends and be involved in a good community to give back, to do service for people. And that's where I see myself, is someone that can just give back and help others and make education and resources accessible, help people live not just longer lives, but longer, more fulfilling and healthier lives that they feel good about. At 6 years old, they're not struggling with back pain or other issues. They're feeling their best self. And that's something that is a goal of mine, is to help mass amounts of people. So I would say that that is where I would like my life to lead. I'm not sure where it's going to lead. Again, the 5-year question. A lot happened in 5 years, and I'm so excited to see what happens in the next 5 years by the time I'm 35. And I know good things are coming, and I hope these questions were something that you guys can look at and listen to and be like, wow, let me think back to where I was 5 years ago, or what's something that people assume of me that is not true, or where do I want my life to be, or where do I hope my life to be. I'm going to drop the questions below, but I'm going to stop here. Just let you go ahead, think of these questions, think of your own life journey. And I hope this helped you guys offer some sort of inspiration, and let's continue to keep living your best life. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and I'll see you soon. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you would like to continue to get these episodes first thing, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Spotify under Best Life by You. If you're interested in working together, y'all can go ahead and visit bestlifebyyou.com/work with me, or go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NutriFitJulia. Send me a DM, or just follow for more information, fun tips, and just a lot of humor. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's continue to live the best life by you.